Hello everyone, my name is Wambui Muigai and I'm a born again Christian. So I saw my friends do this, use this platform to tell people about Christ, and I thought, why not? Why I would boldly say I'm a born again Christian is because that's my life. That is the kind of life that I've chosen to live. Why would I choose to live a Christian life? It's because I am constantly and continuously being conformed into the likeness of God every single day. That sounds interesting because, God is perfect and God is like so high up there. Then how is it then that I'm being conformed every single day? Because here's the deal. The moment I accepted Christ in my life, I chose to live his life. And that is why Galatians 2:20 says that it's no longer I that lives, but Christ that lives in the inside of me. So that is the mystery that has been held over the years concerning salvation, Christ living in the inside of a person. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. If you think of it logically, then I can assure you that that won't make sense. But then here's the deal. The life of God is so holy, okay? Like the standards of living the life of God is so high. And you are not able to do it by yourself, and that is why Christ has to come and indwell in you, because you in the flesh, there is no way you are able to live the life of God. Every single day I am continuously waking up and understanding that I'm in the household of God. I'm in the household of the one who created the heavens and the earth. I'm in the household of the one who, just by speaking a word, the whole earth came to be. The one who breathed in the inside of me for me to have life. That is an amazing journey to live in. When Christ is living in you, then you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about the things that are happening in the world. And you know what? We are living in a fallen world. Every single day, when you watch news, when you look at what is happening in the world, we're like continuously just building ourselves up into a life of misery. Because there is, like right now, we're living in the midst of a pandemic outbreak. We are not sure when everything is going to be restored back to normal. And this is a very uncertain period. But for a son, for a child of God, then you're not worried anyway. Because when you're living in sin, when you're living in the world, when you're living by the standards of the world, you're continuously worried about so many things. Every single time, death is always knocking at your door, because that is an enemy that the devil knows how to use. He knows how to use death to scare people, and that is why there is always panic whenever something happens. He uses death because death is an enemy. But then for a child of God, because Christ has already overcome and he's the one living in the inside of us, we have conquered death. So death becomes a victory for us. Death becomes a transition for us. And that is why at one point Paul would say, I don't really want to live here. I'm living because you guys need to hear the gospel. But if it was my choice, I desire to die that I can be in Christ. Because for us, to die is gain. For us, to die is gain. It's living the life with Christ forever. That is why I choose to be a born again Christian. That's why I choose to live the life of Christ. That's why I choose every single day to say that, Lord, I'm here and I want to live for you. And where we are headed in the world right now, we're headed to a place where the line is just being drawn. You're either for God or you're not. You're either for salvation or you're not. And trust you me, you do not want to not be in God because of where we're headed right now. It's very hard to know these things, especially in a country where there is freedom of expression, there is freedom of worship, and you can worship in whatever manner that you'd want to. But in places where you're constantly being subjected to one kind of rule, that is when you realize that the line is being drawn. And that is where we're headed, even in this country where we already have freedom of speech, because the biblical prophecies always have to come to pass. And I don't want you to be found not in the household of God. Don't be found on the other side of the fence. So make a choice today and surrender your life to Christ. Because I know there are many that God has been calling over and over, but they've always found this decision hard to make. So just surrender. That's the most beautiful thing you could ever do. That's the best choice I ever made for my life. Make the same choice for yourself today.